The number one reason that people don't achieve what they want to in their life is because they're terrified, they're afraid, and they're living in fear. They're afraid of what if they don't achieve that outcome? What if people judge me? What will I lose when I change? All of these things that you currently fear are exactly what is stopping you from being you. If you're somebody who doesn't know exactly who you are or what you love to do, or what you're super interested in or what you want out of life, the way to do that is to just become okay with the fear, become okay with the things that you are afraid of. What if you do this and somebody judges you? What if? Who gives a fuck? It's actually putting yourself in that position and realizing it's okay to be scared. Life isn't meant to live not being afraid of shit. Some shit is really scary. It's just the action of being scared and still doing it. That is the part that separates people that achieve everything to people that achieve nothing. When you're living in fear, you probably don't realize that a lot of what you're doing is coping. A lot of the things that you're doing that you're withdrawing into is because you're trying to cope with life. You're trying to pull out of life so you don't have to face something that's scaring you or something that's difficult. I know for me, I've always been a perfectionist because I've been so afraid of failure, afraid of criticism, afraid of other people's judgment that I wanted to do it so perfect that whenever somebody saw it, they couldn't judge it because there was nothing wrong with it. But a lot of the time, that just stopped me from taking action. One thing that I realized about successful people is that they push through that hate, judgment, and criticism because they believe in themselves, they believe in the message, they believe in what they're trying to spread for the world. One thing that always blew me away is I was trying to break down all these habits in my life that I was trying to get rid of. And I realized they're all coping mechanisms for me being afraid of shit. Me being afraid of life is causing me to withdraw. And when I withdraw, I do things that just make me feel comfortable that I don't agree with, that I don't like. I'm eating like shit. I'm not sleeping enough. I'm playing video games. I'm watching porn. I'm doing everything bad that I disagree with and I fundamentally disagree with, and I know that they're negative. So why do I do them? Why am I drawn to them so hard? And it's because I was so afraid of life. I was afraid of conflict. I was afraid of conflict in the world. I was afraid of conflict within myself. And one of the things that helped me become okay with this conflict is to embrace it rather than try and push it away. Realizing that the worst that can happen normally isn't that bad. To like 90% of my anxieties, my fears, it's not that bad, but I'm trying to predict it. I'm not afraid of a hard time. I'm afraid of not knowing what will happen, whether that's good or bad. And so I'm limiting myself to my past and I'm going off of my past experiences to tell me what I should be afraid of and what I shouldn't. And 90% of the time, it's going to tell you uncertainty is terrifying when really uncertainty can be just as good as it is bad. If you chase certainty in life, you'll only live the life that you've lived in the past. So learning to become okay with the uncertainty and learning to become okay with what if this happens? What if this happens? It is all going to be okay. Everything will work out because you are on your path. You're going to where you need to go. Allow yourself to be afraid. Allow yourself to push through that and allow yourself to stay on track. You don't want to waste your own time. And when you're constantly thinking of these fears, it's almost like you manifest them because they are taking up basically all of your mental capacity that you have. It's crazy. I was wondering, why am I so afraid of this, but it happens? And then it's like, oh my God, it's because I thought about it for the last 3 months. That's why it happened, because I was terrified of this business not going perfect. I was terrified of this conflict. I was terrified of looking like this. And then it all happens because fear is so powerful. It holds so much energy and you give it so much power in your life. Imagine if you were figuring out how to give the positive in your life that kind of energy. Imagine if you were figuring out how to give growth, uncertainty, belief in yourself that kind of power. Everything would go right. You would literally achieve everything that you actually want to in life, and you would know what it is that you want to achieve because you aren't afraid. You aren't afraid of the good life that you could have. One of the things that I identified that helped me so much overcoming fear is, does this action serve my higher purpose? And if it is a no, ask yourself, why is it there? Binge eating. Why are you binge eating? That does not serve your higher purpose. What is causing you to binge eat? Track your habits back to the root source. Track them back to the first time that this addiction or habit grabbed you and pulled you in. Was it out of fear? Was it out of the fear of missing out? Was it out of the fear of being alone? Was it out of the fear of death? The fear of poverty? Was it out of survival? It makes it so much easier to create new habits and break down bad habits if you know why they were created and why you want to change them and what it will do for you if you do change them. You stack that with just doing things when you're afraid and being okay with the outcome and understanding that you're living your path, and life just gets easy. Life is so simple. You will identify who you are, what it is that you want out of life, and how you will achieve it. And once you've done that, formulate a plan for this higher version of yourself that's not based out of fear, and fucking do it. You got this. Whatever you're afraid of, just push through. I promise that you're going to overcome this fear easily. You just have to do what you know that you need to do. Don't withdraw, just stay present, because the hard times will end. Unless you stay living in fear, then life is a hard time. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it gives you some insight to your current habit of fear. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. My school community will be in there as well. It's completely free. We talk about dope shit. You want to become the best version of yourself. You want to become a strong man. You want to make a bunch of money. Join it. I would love to see you in there. Like, subscribe, Instagram, The Holistic Truth Coach. Peace out. Thanks so much. Adios.